Hello and welcome everyone to Ask Amrita and Bela. As per our format, we're going to be answering two questions. And today we have a question on subitizing. So what is subitizing? So while subitizing may not be a very well-known word, it is certainly a very important mathematical skill. Subitizing is the ability to instantly recognize the number of objects without actually counting them. Now, why is this skill so important? So, subitizing is an essential part of developing number sense in the early years. Children start relating to numbers and to actual items or groups of items in the early years. Let me give you another example to make you understand this better. So when I teach reading, I take a group of words and make them and sound them out. So let me give you an example of a word like cat. I will break it up and say k, a, t, and then I will get the word cat. But I don't want to read like that constantly, right? I want to be able to say the word cat fluently. Similarly, children need to count initially, but when we go on to doing major or complex operations, children need to be able to relate to numbers and groups easily in their mind, and there has to be a certain sense of fluency with numbers too. So students who can subitize small groups of numbers are able to develop their counting skills by beginning their counting after a subitized group, or by using subitizing to count forwards or backwards by twos, threes, or even larger groups. This is sounding so complex, but if I give you simple examples, you will know what I mean. So if I show you 4 and I show you 2, a child will count 4 in his head and then count 2 because that is easier than keeping 2 in his head and counting 4, right? Because he's been able to subitize the bigger amount and then just needs to add the small amount. So this is something we do very easily, but you need to be able to subitize to do it. So start by showing children, quick images to develop this. You can show them dot cards and ask them how many they see. This is one very, very good way of developing subitizing. An alternative way of developing conceptual subitizing is to show children numbers of dots, stars, fingers. Ask them how they see the number. So the first way of starting is to start by showing quick images. So let's take the example of a dice. Initially, a child will focus on the numbers and the quantities from 0 to 5. And then he's going to count them out, 1, 2, 3, 4. Leave this image up longer because children have not built a structure around this image. Once the child builds that structure, that child will be able to just say 4 or 3 or 2 without counting all those numbers. So let's look at some simple dice patterns. Children may instantly be able to recognize 1, 2, 3 because recognition of patterns is something children do quite naturally. And recognizing numbers up to 5 is quite easy for them. 6 becomes a challenge if it is not a dice pattern, but otherwise children can quite see the pattern with numbers up to 5. After that, we're going to learn about something called conceptual subitizing. So when adults also subitize, they can't see a number 8. After 6, it becomes very difficult. So they may see a 4 and they may see another 4. And then they know it's 4 and 4 and mentally they compute and it becomes an 8. So start with small amounts and then gradually work your way up to larger amounts. Now, once you've done this flashing of, subitizing numbers, start flashing them faster. How fast children answer will depend upon the grade level of your children and also how much experience they've had with supervising. Use fingers, use dice, use dot patterns to start with initially. Then you can go on to using 5 frames, and then you can go on to using even 10 frames. Another very important activity you can do is number talk with number strings. So number strings are blocks of number representations. You put them one below the other so that you can see them clearly. You can start showing an image like this and then ask children, how many are there? Now some children may still be counting. So they'll say 1, 2, 3, 4. Use only numbers that are subitizable. Those are numbers up to 5. Yes. And ask them these questions. How many are there? Then show another picture below the previous picture. Now ask children, how many are there in this picture? And children will look at the pictures, and now you can have a talk about it. If they say there are 3 or there are 2, then you can ask them, what do you notice about this? What has changed about this? What kind of relationship do these 2 images have? And the conversation can be, this is 2 more or this is 2 less. So they're figuring out patterns, and now they're not going to spend their time counting. They're just subitizing, and they know 2 is 2 less than 4. And the focus is going to change. So can you see the link to addition and subtraction? I really hope this helped. If you all have any more questions, please reach out and I'll be happy to help you with more work on subitizing.
The second question for today is, what is the correct age to teach values to children, and how can I teach values to my child? For the holistic development of a child, it is very important to expose them to life lessons early in life. Instilling good moral values in children helps. Things that you can do: first is name the core values. Make a list of the values you feel are important for your child to instill in them. For example, the values could be like honesty, love, empathy, courage, respect, kindness, etc. Now view the values from the child's perspective. When your child comes and hugs you without a reason, it's love. When she tells you that the cookie you tried making is not good, she's honest. When she shares her lunch with a friend in school, that's kindness. When she puts a band-aid on a teddy bear, that's empathy. And when she takes care of her belongings in school, she's being responsible. When she builds her building blocks to the tower multiple times, in spite of it falling down, that is determination. You may feel you are not teaching values to the child, but the child learns best by seeing what's happening around him. That brings me to our next point. Model core values. Instead of teaching values to your child, model values you want them to learn. Your daily actions is observed by your child, so behave in a way you want your child to pick up those values. You don't have to keep a separate day or a time to teach the values. Children learn from your actions every day. You can read stories to your child about maybe model values. Maybe you could even share your story with your child. In family time, make it a routine for all to share the experiences. This teaches the child empathy. One wonderful way of teaching your child empathy and how to care for others is by playing this game. It's called the buddy game. In this game, you prepare chits with all the names of the family members, and you put them into a bowl, and you ask each member to pick out one chit. Whosever name appears on the chit is going to be their buddy for that day. The task to do is something nice for your buddy without telling them. While playing this, it's a fun game. He will learn how to do random act of kindness without wanting something in return. You can give your child a situation and see how he would react to it. For example, Raju and Meera went to a park to play. Raju, he found a ball and he took it to play. What do you think Raju could have done? Let the child respond the way he wants to respond. There's no right and there's no wrong. But you could, if you want to interrupt the child and tell him something, you can tell him, could you think of another way he could handle the same situation? Let him think for himself what is right and what is wrong. You can give him a task of maybe nurturing a plant. You want him to watch it grow, and the child will be responsible, take the responsibility. I'm going to water my plant daily. I'm going to look after my plant, and he's going to watch it grow at the same time. But appreciate the good behavior. Make sure you acknowledge and appreciate your child's good behavior. This will encourage the child to continue to practice good values. Values add something magical in the process of parenting because they play such an important role in your child turns out to be, how your child turns out to be. Please do try out these tips and let me know which one worked for you. If you have any more questions, please write to us on the ABCD Show 6@gmail.com, and we'll be more than happy to help all of you. Bye-bye.